Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Thursday edition of the JP Peterson Show. I even got the day right today.
Wow.
I've been working one day behind all week. I don't know why. I just have. But welcome into the show because it's Masters Thursday. I figured that out finally. It's Masters Thursday. The tournament is underway, and we are in the Wayback Machine.
We are.
I think it's 1992. Looking at the leaderboard. Well, so we'll get to that in just a little bit.
Okay with that too.
Well, guess what? The Bolts lost to the Leafs last night. I got lots to talk about that game last night. Hey, Titus O'Neill is going to join us today. He's had a crazy schedule this week. We've had to reschedule him a couple times, but we hopefully will have him on today at 11 o'clock so he can Gator chomp all over my face and every other a knoll around as the Gators have taken over the world, apparently. And always fun to talk to Titus and see what's going on with him. He was on the court holding the trophy and everything, so we'll check in with him at 11 o'clock. We'll talk some Bucs as well. The draft is coming up. Defensive tackle? Could they be going defensive tackle with the first pick? There's some talk.
Yep.
There's some talk of the Rays get a win, a grand slam, maybe not the grandest of slams.
Still
We'll
counts.
talk about that. Still counts. So we got lots to get to here today on the JP Peterson Show. And of course, the biggest national story there is took place in the DFW last night, where our friend Tim Ham is at FanStream Sports Dallas, as his favorite player, Luka Doncic, came back and torched the Mavs. And everybody was applauding.
I mean, torch is a strong word, I think.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Hey, we held him under 50.
So you got that going for you.
Got that going for me.
You didn't go, right? You were a little under the weather.
We had shows last night. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's right. You had tons of shows. You could not go last night, but it was quite the scene. All right, so let's first of all let's jump into the leaderboard at the Masters. Zach Thomas is 2 under, or Zach Johnson. I'm sorry, Zach Johnson.
Zach Thomas is 2 under at the Masters. We got a story.
That's speaking of 1992.
Yeah, we got a story.
Zach Johnson is 2 under par, early going, and Freddie Couples is 1 under par. Bernhard Longer is 1 under par. What the hell's going on at the Masters? We've got some amateurs. Kent is 2 under par as well. Just bombing them all around. Aaron Rye, I think, who was on our the Johnny Gerber card.
Mr. Two Glove.
Mr. Two Gloves is 2 under par. So little gettable early. The first 4 holes are a little gettable this morning as the boys go out. Obviously, it started with Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tom Watson and our good friend Fred Ridley, the chairman, Tampa's own, doing the ceremonial first shots of the day. I always love watching that, getting up in the morning and watching that. That is that's super cool to see them do that. Takes you back in that Wayback Machine. And I just love every bit of the Masters, and I know you do. You're not even paying attention to the show at this point. You just got it on all. You got it on all over there.
By the way, one of the Hoygaard twins just went to 2 under. Nikolai.
Really?
And if you're a betting man, the low amateur right now is Noah Kent, as you said. He's at 2 under. And if you're a betting man, go over right now if you think he can win it, because it is plus 100,000 odds for Noah Kent to win the Masters. Yeah.
Of course, an amateur has never won the Masters. Nope. I don't even know what the top amateur finish was. I should know that history.
In history, I don't know. We know last year, remember, it was the Ohio State kid, Shipley.
Yeah, right.
He was the low amateur at the U.S. Open and at the Masters last year. Of course, he went pro now. So
yeah, we saw him at the Valspar, the portly
yes.
Noah Shipley,
the mulleted Noah Shipley,
and mulleted and portly. Yes, we all want to be mulleted and portly.
I'd love to have the
look at that. That's just crazy looking at this leaderboard. Zach Johnson, Brian Harmon is there as well.
Johnny Vegas.
Johnny Vegas, absolutely glorious day But the big boys will go off a little bit later on. Morikawa will, I think he's going off at 10:18. Well, so he's one of the favorites. Although I do not want him to win. I think we talked a lot about this yesterday. Bob Herrick joined us live from the Masters. I mean, it's about Rory and Scotty. Is it not? It's about Rory and Scotty. And if those guys are in the final pairing on Sunday, what a historic
Can you imagine
match that would be? That would just be so good. So good.
Of course, Scotty going for not just back-to-back. You would be in a very rare group of guys that have won it back-to-back, but he would also have won 3 out of 4 years.
Yeah, only
no one's
Jack,
ever done.
Jack did that, I believe. I did.
3 out of 4?
I believe Jack did that. Yeah, I think I heard one of the guys. I think I heard Steve Sands say that this morning. Okay. Steve Sands is never wrong.
No, he's never. He was way smarter than I am. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But then, of course, Rory, the storyline is his career Grand Slam, and now it's his 11th try.
At the Masters.
Yeah.
And he hasn't won a major in 10 years. But he's won twice this year. He's in great
first
form.
time in his career, he's won twice before April. So he's on a roll.
And it looks so, back when he was winning majors, what was it? Was it 2015 where he had a 2-shot lead heading to the back 9 on Sunday and just absolutely whipsawed vicious hook on 10?
Pulled a Greg Norman.
Never recovered. Well, it's a choke job by Greg Norman. It wasn't that bad.
No, it was epic.
He didn't have a 6-shot lead.
Oh.
But it couldn't happen to a bigger jerk.
Yep.
Yeah, as we knew it at the time. Yeah. The lowest finish by an amateur is Charles Coe. Charles Coe finished second in 1961. Charlie Coe.
All right.
Charles Coe. According
we never
to
heard from
John
him
Hill.
again.
Yeah, never heard from it. Was buried over underneath the par 3.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, did you watch the par 3 yesterday?
Of course. Absolutely.
Of course. When did it become hot chick gets to hit a ball day?
Dude.
Like when did the Masters sanction that? Of course I'm for it.
I'm
for it.
And you know what? Those white jumpsuits have never looked sexier either.
You ain't wrong.
Oh my
you ain't
Lord.
Wrong.
I might have a new fantasy now.
Yeah,
put this one in my book.
Honey, can you put this on first?
Hey, have you ever worn a white jumpsuit with my name on the back of it?
With my name on they don't even get to put their name on the back.
That's right. It's my name.
Yeah, that would look weird though for you. Ham on the back. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Ham with 2 M's. I don't know about that.
I think it would look great.
You get to put or be like a Valspar, but you get to put your nickname on it. IndyCar Tim.
Wife of.
Yeah, so that was fun. So it's kids and hot girlfriends and wife day on Wednesday. Now we're going to rename the par 3, and everybody gets to take a shot here and there.
We did a 2-hour from the rough yesterday. Me and Johnny Gerber, of course, covering the Masters and previewing the Masters, and we may have spent a little too much time looking up pictures of players' hot wives.
I missed the show. Now I got to go back and listen. Did you put the pictures up as well?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, then you still have them in the file, do you not?
No, I deleted all of that, but I can go back and find them. I know. I didn't think about the show this morning. Crap.
Come on, bro. What are we doing? Can we get a little pre-production for the JP show? Come on.
Russell Henley's wife may have won the afternoon, by the way.
Well, may have, yeah. Well, you're gonna now that we're talking about it, you're gonna have to put them up. So there you go. John Hill says in the year 2069, topless par 3 day.
I'm in.
Nah, I'm never gonna get an invite now. Just thanks for that, John Hill. You just besmirched the Masters on our show. Appreciate that. Also, Frank Stranahan finished second in 1947. All right, so no amateur in the last 50, 60 years has come close. Yeah, I would think in this day and age when amateurs and all players are subject to just incredible experiences growing up, I mean, now you have the pitch and putt competition that gets to go to the Masters with the Axia Batia, the first one who's ever actually played in the Masters that was in the finals for the pitch and putt. So that's kind of cool. Everything Fred Ridley has done between the pitch and putt and the women's amateur at Augusta has just been an absolute grand slam hit and really helps continue to grow the game. Whereas one time I think Augusta and the Masters was just this untouchable kind of playground for the elite. I think he's done a great job of opening it up to the masses as much as you possibly can. I mean, you have to keep. There's a very fine line between, opening it up to the masses and still keeping it special in a lot of different ways. And if you don't know about the Masters, first of all, there are no electronic screens anywhere on the grounds. They're all the old-fashioned scoreboards. Yep. You cannot bring your cell phone in there. You will not see any corporate markings whatsoever anywhere on the grounds. And you get your pimento cheese sandwich for $1.50. $1.50. And the chicken salad for $1.50. And by the way, the pimento cheese has to be on the glorious white Wonder Bread. Yep. To make it an official Masters, and has to be wrapped in the green wrapper. Of course. The last time I was at the Masters and I had my pimento cheese, I actually kept my green wrapper with the little Masters seal on there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because I'm a sentimental hoarder, according to Ashley. And I am. Absolutely. I love keeping mementos like that. I never, they're in the next room here in about 12 boxes. But yes, we have all those stuff. One day I should just start bringing out like every day we should do a segment where I bring out a box of stuff and just start sifting through it. And I get to show you memorabilia from the 40 years of me being in this business.
We'll call it Antiques Roadshow with JP.
I would actually be kind of cool. And it would also force me to go through this crap and throw most of it out. Yeah. But there's a lot of cool stuff.
We could vote on what you should keep.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. That's a great idea. Toss it, keep all these jerks in the comments. So they'll like, toss it, you loser. Why do you keep that stuff? And they'd be 100% right. So we thank you all for that. Yeah. All right. So the Masters is underway. We will keep you posted as to everything going on in Augusta. And we got a bunch of friends that are there. So on next week, we'll have some of the tales. Our good friend Scotty Fitz from AMS Mortgage. If you need a mortgage, by the way, Scott at amsmortgage.com. He will be going up tomorrow and there for the weekend. So that'll be, we'll get reports from him and all kinds of folks that are there, and hopefully have some of the post coverage.
Would you like to have a sneak peek at our hot golfer wives?
Sure.
Here's just a sneak peek.
Why not?
How about
it's all Masters? This is all Masters related.
Yes. Christina Helema, who of course is Bryson DeChambeau's hot wife.
Yes. Yes.
Christine Helema. That way.
Girlfriend? Are they girlfriend?
Girlfriend. Sorry, girlfriend. Yes, they're not married.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, both of our previews here are girlfriends. They are not married, but here's what Bryson has to deal with every day.
Oh my God. What an inspiration. A glorious inspiration. Yeah, the Wags of the Master. Hello, friends. It's time for the Wags of the Masters.
And then for our second preview, I wanted to go with Presley Schultz, who is Tia's girlfriend.
Okay. Well, okay. All right.
So, JP, if you're good at golf.
These are nice pictures, okay? But I was hoping for the jumpsuit, the white jumpsuit. I'm just going to be honest with you.
We couldn't get pictures of them because there's no cameras allowed on the course.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you gotta have I'd have to find video.
Well, there's media pictures. I mean, there's media photographers. Yeah. So, all right, that's okay. Not that those pictures are bad, but who was the girl that hit it to about 4 feet? I think it was Aaron Rye's girlfriend.
Yes, that was Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he
what's her name?
Gloves with her.
It's so hot. I had to wear 2 gloves. That's how hot it is. It's so hot. I had to wear 2 gloves. Maybe.
What is her name?
I'll let you do the research on that. While I talk about last night's hockey game.
Yes.
The Lightning lose again to the Maple Loafs. That's a season sweep, 0-4. The Lightning could not beat the Maple Leafs. And it's the first time in 13 seasons, according to our friend Edward Encina at the Times, that the Lightning have been swept in 4 games. The first time in 13 by any team in the league, which is interesting. And what's also interesting is why. And there's this pretty good chance we're going to see the Maple Leafs in the playoffs. Of course, they beat the Lightning in the first round in 2023, in a very competitive series, by the way. But and I asked Brian Ingbaum, I'm like last night on the postgame show, are you concerned? Are you concerned about a matchup with the Leafs? And he was a little hesitant, but then said, and of course, saying that the playoffs are just a totally different animal. It's a totally different animal. It's many, many times he's seen and played in series where, the regular season you get dominated by one team and it's a totally different deal in the playoffs. And because the playoffs are just, a very different game. They're a very different game than the regular season. Now, last night, I will say this, last night had a very, very much a playoff atmosphere at a neutral site. I mean, you could not tell when a goal was scored, whether it was a Lightning goal or a Leafs goal. There were a ton of Toronto fans there. That's not going to happen in the playoffs. That's not going to happen in the playoffs. A lot of Lightning fans, especially late in the season, will take their ticket windfall from the Toronto fans that are here. A lot of them talked to a few fans last night, Maple Leafs fan that came down for the double dip because the Leafs played in Florida the night before. It was a back-to-back. So they went down, stayed in Miami for a few days and came to or Lauderdale, whatever it is, and then came over here to watch the game with the Lightning. So they did the double dip, and there were a ton of fans, absolutely a ton of fans. So by the way, the Canadian tourism boycott, not real. Shocking development. Once again, the media is lying to you. They were everywhere last night. And thank you for coming, and thank you for staying, and thank you for spending all your money. But no thank you for the 2-0 lead, which we gifted to the Leafs. And I mean gifted. 2 ugly turnovers turned into goals. And really, it could have been 4-0 if not for 2 great Vasi saves in the first 5 minutes. But to the Lightning's credit, they really turned it around. After those 2 minutes, they got after it. 90 shot attempts last night for the Tampa Bay Lightning. 90 shot attempts. 36 blocks Toronto was credited with. And 26 times the Lightning missed the net. So that's your fault. And a lot of those blocks were the Lightning's fault too. As Brian called them, careless shots. You gotta, you shouldn't be just shooting the puck when somebody's right in front of you. The obvious thing. There were a lot of careless shots last night by the Lightning, but I thought they really drove play after those first 3 minutes that they were down 2-0. I thought they really drove play most of the way, gifted by those 90 shots. That's a lot, and I thought they played really well. They came back obviously to tie the game 3-3. Heddy with a nice blast, and he's been playing really, really well. Victor Hedman has really been playing well. His 15th goal. I think he's top 3 in points in the league among blue liners. He's really having a great season, and I look forward to seeing what he can do in the postseason. And he was aggressive last night, and I like seeing Hedman aggressive. I think he had 12 shot attempts last night, and that's with a shot like he has. He needs it. I think he's kind of warming up for the playoffs, to be honest with you. Kucherov had 20 shot attempts last night, 20. So there was a lot of good stuff from the Lightning last night, and they played, frankly, their best game that they've played against Toronto all year long. I don't think there's any question about that. And they salvaged the point and very easily could have won the game. In overtime, they had 4 or 5 golden opportunities in overtime to win that game. But they didn't. And Matthew Nyes had a hat trick last night. Marner had a goal and a couple of assists, 3 assists for Matthews. That line had 9 total points. They were really good. No question about it. But there were some good things from the Lightning. They were aggressive. Again, they got a lot of shots off. Vasilevsky, I thought, was really, really good again last night. He's been atop of his game. So he heads into the playoffs, I think, is one of the top 2 goalies. He's going to be a Vezina finalist. He's second in wins, second in goals against. He's been playing phenomenal hockey. So I'm very comfortable with where Vasi is at. And so am I going to freak out because Toronto swept the Lightning and they are a possible opponent, obviously, in the playoffs? No, I'm not. Based on last night's game, it could have gone either way. Had the Lightning won last night, would we be talking about, as somebody said on Twitter last night to me, they're clearly overmatched by Toronto? I didn't see that last night. Yeah. I did not see that they were clearly overmatched. In the previous 3 games, they are what they are. Toronto, I'll say this, and Brian made this point on the post game last night. He said he was talking to some of the press guys and coaches yesterday in the morning skate, and they talked about how the Toronto team just kinds of break the Lightning apart. They always seem to space them out. They do a fantastic job of that. So when they do get these turnovers, the Lightning are out of position, and it turns into an odd man rush and a high danger chance. Which, by the way, Vasilevsky, number 1 in the league in saves against high danger chances. So he's been used to it for most of the year. I mean, if the Lightning have a worry, I think it is in the last couple of weeks. Their puck management has not been as solid as it needs to be. They can't give up those egregious turnovers, right at the blue line where everybody's going the other way, and now they got to get back. And that's something always bad happens, and you saw it happen twice in 3 minutes in the first 3 minutes last night. So those are things you got to clean up and get back to playing more like you did in February in your 10-1-1, where they took the risk out of their game. They were just so solid in everything that they did. So I feel good about the Lightning. And here's another interesting stat from the great Ed Encina that I did not know. You'll find this interesting. So how important is it to win the division? Okay, since they changed the playoff format 10 years ago, division winners, how many cup finals appearances, you think? Division winners.
Oh, my gosh.
4. I'll just give it to you.
Okay.
4.
I was going to say 5, but okay.
4, yeah, 4. Second place teams, 7. 7 times second place teams have made it to the final. Third place teams, 6 times.
Huh.
So by a very large margin, finishing second and third better than finishing first. I don't know why.
All about matchups, man.
It is. It's all about matchups. And in 10 years, relatively speaking, small sample size.
Yeah.
But still, I think that's a very important point to make. And it goes back to what many will tell you and what we've witnessed from the Lightning is it is about matchups, and it is about where you are and how you're playing as you head into the postseason. Now, are we going to be honest and say, how about the matchup with Toronto? Look, it's 4-0. 4-0 is 4-0. As much as I want to sit here and say last night I thought was a very even game, and you go back to the 23 series, that whole series was a very even game. I think the Lightning lost 3 games in overtime in that series, if I'm not mistaken. So a very even series. So look, it's about matchups, and it's about making the plays when you got to make the plays. And the Lightning have a lot of experience doing that. They have a lot of playoff experience doing that, and obviously winning a couple cups. And their playoff record with this core group is absolutely untouchable. It is. There's not a team that's even close in the league with the amount of wins and appearances and that they've had in games since 2015, and that matters. That matters when it comes to Stanley Cup playoff time. So, did they lose the division last night? Probably. That game, I think they had to have to win the division. How important is it? Well, there's the numbers. And as Coop said before the game and reiterated after the game, the team that wins the game is going to say it's very important to win the division. And the team that loses it is going to say, maybe not that much. And that's where they're at. But the other thing that I took from Cooper last night was he was pissed. And before the first question could even get out, he was like, embarrassing start, another embarrassing start. So he was not happy with his team. And I think it's interesting. I like that Cooper, you could see it in the Rangers game, when they another slow start and he got on their ass big time in the first TV timeout. He went up and down the bench and was just ripping the entire team. And I'm pretty sure they got a tongue lashing in the first intermission as well. So I don't know. I just have a good feel for this team heading into the playoffs. I really, really do. Now, we also talked last night about the Panthers. The Panthers are struggling. They're just not playing great hockey. And as last year I thought the matchup with the Panthers was not good for the Lightning. It turned out to be so, even though I thought it was a very, very even series. Yeah. This year, I'd rather play Florida than Toronto. Now they're going to play Florida in 3 games. They got this 4-game homestand. They got Toronto tonight. Then on Friday night, they have the Red Wings, who are now out of it. Then they got Buffalo, who are now out of it on Sunday. And then here come the Panthers on Tuesday. And that game will probably decide some seeding. So at this point, I'd rather play the Panthers. And let's not forget, Marshawn is still trying to acclimate himself to that team. Kachuk, we have no idea if he's going to play or not. Ekblad's out till game 3. Sam Bennett is hurt. So that's a team that is just not playing great. And here's the other part about the Panthers. They're fat and happy. They just won it. Yeah. They're still celebrating. It takes the edge and the hunger to win the cup. And that's why the Lightning's sustained success has been so incredible, because once you taste it, once you drink from the cup, that hunger subsides. It just does. And human nature to come back year in and year out takes a lot of intestinal fortitude and a lot of talent, which the Lightning obviously have displayed. But I think they're hungry again. It's been a while since they've drank from the cup, and 2 first-round losses should piss them off. With the culture of this team and how competitive they are, that should piss them off. So I like where the Lightning are at. If they finish second, which I think is where they'll be, that's the number 1 place to get to the final. Yep. And, now, we'll worry about the West when we got to worry about the West. I think they're a little top heavy, and I think one of those top heavy teams will probably be there when they get there. But that's okay. That's what it's all about, man. I just want them to make a run. The last 2 years has been so disappointing because you got 2 months of watching other teams play, or a month and a half, and that thing sucks. Because I love Stanley Cup playoff. There's nothing more exhilarating and more dramatic than a series. The NBA doesn't even come close to comparing. Baseball's just a little boring. It gets dramatic at times, but when you're talking about series, obviously football, the game in itself is a series, but we're talking about series playoffs, where you playing the team every other night, and it's physical, it's fast, it's nasty, it's incredibly competitive. It's just the best. And I don't want to get cheated.
That don't like each other, then it's even better.
I just don't want to get cheated. I don't want to get cheated. So let's make a run. If the Lightning don't win the cup this year, that's great. But can we get to the finals? Can we at least get to the conference finals?
How about a Stars Lightning finals?
Oh,
hockey pants are going crazy already.
Yeah, we will be traveling as 100%. I will be traveling to Dallas for all those games. No question about it. We will be doing shows from the studio there. Yep. No question about it. No question about it. Yeah. So, let's root for that. Let's root for that. How are the Stars playing? I'm pretty much in a silo.
You know what? The Stars are very much, and
after that depressing disaster, unprecedented, by the way. That's never. We were talking about this the other day to remind the folks. They lost the game. They were up 3. They were up 5-2 with 1:12 to play.
Correct. They scored an empty net goal to make it 5-2 with 1:12 left.
And lost the game. First time ever another team has come back in the final minute, scored 3 goals and won in overtime. First time ever.
So miserable, I swear. But you know what? They're playing well. They've lost 3 in a row, but that's coming off of a 9-game winning streak.
Yeah.
So
one of those.
So it's one of those.
Historic.
106 points on the season. They're 4 behind Winnipeg. They're probably not going to catch Winnipeg for the division. Nobody cares. You were talking about if the division matters. I think it matters if you get there, but if you don't, I don't think anybody cares. It's all about the seeding in the playoffs, who you're going to play. And again, it's all about matchups. And at this point, we won't have to face the Jets until if we do, it'd be in the conference finals probably, so that I'm fine with that. Probably going to have to match up against Colorado in the first round. I'm okay with that.
Freddie almost aced number 6.
I see that.
He almost aced it with his yellow ball.
Yellow ball.
You can't use a yellow ball.
It rolls off the green.
I guess you can if you're Freddie. Yeah, he hit it right by the flag. And I don't. If it wasn't a yellow ball, it would have freaking stopped.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Rick wants to know which hat will I wear for Bolts versus Stars. You know what? Probably for game 1. You know what I'll do? I'll wear my Habs hat. I'll show you.
You're going to wear your FanStream Sports hat. That's
wear my FanStream Sports hat, my hat, and then whoever's ahead in the series, I'll wear that hat. How's that? How's that for a bandwagoner?
Daniel says the Stars would play the Jets in round 2.
Oh, would they? Oh, I don't like that.
And also, I'll take this one too. If I can't get Stars Lightning, I want Vegas Lightning.
Yeah.
Ashley would love that. She'd be like, I'm coming. We're going to Vegas, baby. Yeah, we are.
Of course.
Hopefully the NHL will give us a nice discounted rate at the Bellagio. Please. Nice. Please. And Christopher Cole reminds us last night, the Lightning did hit 4 crossbars. Yeah, all in the first. They hit 4 posts and crossbars all in the first. It is, as Brian said last night, it could have been 5-4 at the end of one. Yeah. And pick your team as to what it was 5-4. So, yeah, Toronto won last night. Good for them. But it was not some ass kicking. In fact, I think the Lightning had more high danger chances, all that other BS, but you got to win the games. I mean, I'm giving Toronto their due. You got to win the games, especially when there's 4 of them, and they dominated the other 3. I'll definitely say that. So, okay. If we see them, we see them. And I ain't scared, and I know the Lightning ain't. So let's go.
Yeah, by the way, the Stars have Winnipeg tonight at home too, so I'll probably be at that game.
Wow. No, I'm looking forward to that. No doubt. Yeah. B is up this morning and not being super nasty yet. Colin Morikawa might actually be more unhappy and mean than me.
B made an appearance on the golf show last night. He was tuned in and commenting, and so you know how we decided on this show he's Stu's burner, right?
Right.
On the golf show, he's Billy Horschel's burner. Because Johnny hates Billy Horschel.
Nice. Yeah. If Scotty Scheffler wins, I called it genius level. Oh, yeah. Nobody's picking Scotty. Nice. Lonnie Wilkins chiming in this morning said, there's no way the Rays can say Chris Morel is a better option than signing a guy like JD Martinez who is sitting at home. 1,000%, Lonnie Wilkins. 1,000%. Why the Rays have not signed him? We already got a DH, Yandy Diaz. Who looks like he's about ready to get Social Security. He can't run anymore. And I love Yandy to death. Love him to death. And he got a home run last night. Finally got a home run, second RBI of the season. But batting him leadoff is just, I think, ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So before we get into the Rays, because we're going to hit a break, I just want to get some of the comments in, especially you guys talking about the Lightning. What's this? TJ Watts wants out of Pittsburgh. What?
I don't believe that.
Did he say that? Did he say that, Cody?
I don't believe that.
Check it out. John Hill says the Lefts had the Bolts this regular season. Post and crossbars were hit by the Bolts last night. They did. And it is what it is. I thought the Lightning played well last night outside those first 2 minutes. And they really turned it around. And maybe the first 5 minutes. So anyway, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll hit the Rays, who won last night 5-4 with a grand slam, and then did almost squat the rest of the way. Pepio was okay. So we'll get to the Rays next, and we got a lot of other stuff to get to as well. We are brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group, right where we're sitting here in the Jeeves Law Group studio. Who's that?
I believe that is Aaron Rye's girlfriend.
Oh, in her jumpsuit. Yeah. There's something special about that jumpsuit. I ain't lying.
No.
I'd get Ashley one of those. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group. If you have any legal questions whatsoever, they'll be happy to help you with a free case evaluation. So just go to the website, jeeveslawgroup.com, JEEVES lawgroup.com, and contact them through there. Email them, call them, tell them JP sent you. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Great attorneys over here. So give them a call, and they'll help you out. If you get involved in an accident, absolutely 100% call the Jeeves Law Group. You don't want to go with one of those big major nationwide companies, law firms that'll just make you a number. Be somebody important right here with the local folks. That's Jeeves Law Group. Not attorney spokesman, offices St. Pete and Tampa. Titus O'Neill joining us at 11, back in 3. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. that's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. April is Diamond Days going on right now at the Gold and Diamond Source. 20% off all the diamonds in the joint. They've already got the greatest prices and the greatest selection and the greatest customer service. Now you get even better pricing on all your diamonds. Of course, if you are going to buy one and pop the question, they have the diamond savings account where you can bring your diamond back and upgrade anytime, get full value for it, and then you just upgrade as you make more money, and you want to make more money for your honey and get a bigger diamond. That's how you do it at the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road, always online at the goldendiamondsource.com. Whoa. Who be that?
I quit looking up names. I didn't even care. I just wanted the picture. I just need the pictures. I didn't care who they were anymore.
Well, she shouldn't have 5 on there. It should be 10. No doubt about that.
11. Turn that up to 11.
Wow. I don't even think the Masters were. I mean, this is new, is it not?
I remember wives being there before. I don't remember them hitting balls. But I remember the wives and kids all being there. I mean, that's kind of the whole
ain't no Barbara Nicholas. I can tell you that right now.
No.
Who was a smoke show in her day. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know who that was.
One of the greatest golf wives ever, by the way.
Yes.
Once famously, was it Jack's wife? I think it was Jack's wife who famously uttered on the Johnny Carson show when he asked, do you do anything special to prepare him for the majors? And she goes, I kiss his balls.
Huh.
Boom.
Only on the Johnny Carson show.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta miss Johnny Carson.
Watching some reruns the other day when we were in Colorado, because that's what happens. You know, you have strange TV channels when you're on vacation that you never watch.
Dude, it's timeless, man. That show holds up today. And the
boys are, yeah.
Don Rickles.
Oh, God. Don Rickles.
Love Don Rickles.
I to this day, that dude had to be doing blow. No question about it.
There's no question, right?
No, I mean, nobody has that kind of frantic energy naturally. Ain't no way, especially an old fat guy.
So the
no way
he died, man.
No, that guy. I once saw him in person, like I don't know, it was 1980 something in Miami Beach or something. My mom wanted to go to it, and it was just filthy. Not only was it filthy, it was I literally, my side hurt the next day. I laughed so freaking hard. And he abused people.
Dude, he didn't care.
Oh my God. Yeah, and it was not politically correct, I can tell you.
It never was back then. It didn't matter. And dude, he was not PC. He attacked and offended everybody.
Everybody. No one was safe. No one would save. Rick says
cringeworthy jokes at the time.
Oh my God. Let's go back and look at him now.
Yes.
Rick says white jumpsuit, JP, and his Evil Knievel fetish. Come on. That ain't no Evil Knievel jumpsuit, bro.
These look a lot better than anything Evil Knievel was ever in.
Oh, we gotta have names. We gotta have names.
Who this is?
Where's who is that?
That's Jenna Sims.
That number is not. That's photoshopped.
It's not. That's her number.
That is photoshopped.
How perfect is that?
You did that. I know you did that.
I wish I could take credit for that. That's her number.
Is that Tiger coming up? That looks like.
Oh, this is from yesterday. He wasn't there.
I know, but somebody could have photoshopped that in as well.
True. Yeah, who is that? Is that Jason
Tiger on the hunt? That's what it is.
Dude, he's dating a Trump. I don't think he needs to be concerned about anybody right now.
Hey. Respect his privacy. God damn it.
Can't say that he's dating a Trump.
No, he said respect my privacy as I put this on Twitter.
Well, quit dating a Trump and I'll respect your privacy. Date it on
Twitter. Hey, quit putting all your professional pictures on Twitter, for God's sakes. I love the new Tiger, though. I love the new Tiger. He's so much.
He's finally grown up a little bit.
I mean, if we're being honest, the old Tiger was a jackass.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. But the new Tiger's cool. I like the new Tiger. John Hell says that's Paulina Gretzky. Was that DJ?
Which one?
Was she out there last night? Is that I thought I recognized her. Is that Paulina?
Or is that?
I don't know.
Or is that? No, she's brunette, right? Well, I know DJ's playing, so she's there. I just don't know which one she is.
Right. All right. Well, John, I think that's her. Definitely not her. Not her.
She looks like a Gretzky, doesn't she?
Yeah. All right. Can we get back to? Well, this is sports. All right.
Yeah, we're talking sports. What do you mean?
We're covering the Masters. Covering the Masters
like only we can.
Oh yeah. Top to bottom, getting all the numbers. All right. Do we have a leaderboard update?
We do. I can tell you right now.
Based on those jumpsuits, DJ's winning.
Yeah, DJ's winning.
DJ's winning.
Minwoo. Oh wait, that's not right. How about Chris Kirk, Aaron Rice, Steven Yeager? Damn it! Now I got to do a Yeager shot. And Joaquin Neiman, all at 2 under.
Oh, Saddlebrook's own. So when we claim Joaquin Neiman as one of our own.
Yeah,
he lived at Saddlebrook during his formative years when he moved over here and started playing professional golf. So yeah, Joaquin Neiman, 2 under par. A lot of people, and by the way, second year in a row that Joaquin has gotten a special exemption because he's not earning points on the Live Tour. Yeah. So if you don't know what that, and that's a very political thing, right? Because one of the big worries about the guys going to Live was they weren't be able to qualify. They weren't going to get world ranking points because it wasn't a 72 hole event. It's a carnival, so it shouldn't count as events in my book.
Yep,
but they wanted to get the best international field in the world. And so the Masters, in a somewhat controversial, I would say, decision, decided to offer special invites to players they thought worthy. And they did. And Joaquin Neiman falls into that category and has now gotten a second straight invite. And I think it's the right thing to do.
I do too.
In my professional opinion. And a great young man. But heard the guys talking yesterday. I think it was Brandel Chambly, who said Joaquin Neiman hits the ball too low to win at Augusta, to have a good chance at Augusta, I guess I should say.
I've heard Johnny talk about that before too.
Yeah. And so have to just have to hit a high ball that lands softly, and it's just a lot harder, especially with the elevation changes. There's certain trajectories that you have to enter and hold a lot of these greens from the right angles. So at some point, a lot of this is geometry. You have to know the geometry around Augusta, because there are certain holes where you have to come in from certain angles and certain pin placements. Yeah. So you have to hit it to the certain side of the fairway or you're toast. So it's and you have to come in at a certain angle. That's what makes the game, and that's what makes the local knowledge of Augusta so absolutely critical to win. Why there's only been one rookie that's ever won, and that's Fuzzy Zeller, or true rookie. I mean, go back in the 30s, obviously, when they started, guys that had, I think it was Horton Smith, and some of those guys. But in the modern era,
Johnny texted in earlier when we were talking about guys that came in second as a rookie. Mm-hmm. We forgot Ken Venturi, maybe the most famous second place finisher of all time as an amateur. Yeah.
He was. That's right. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he went pro. The 56, I think, was the next year. I think he finished second in 55.
The heartbreaking loss.
Yeah,
I forget what was the. Johnny can text in or tell us. I'm trying to remember. Did he bogey like the last 3 holes or something to lose it?
Fall apart. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, so yesterday at the 8th consecutive sellout at Steinbrenner Field. So all those folks that said, "Oh, after the first game, it's just going to be 5,000 people at Steinbrenner Field." No, it's packed every game. The 13-game homestand. Now, will they sell out the entire 13-game homestand? I think they will, because you got the Braves and the Red Sox coming in and the Yankees. So yeah, if you're going to sell out for the Angels, which they got a 110 today, Zach Littell against Jose Siriano, by the way, at 110, and they'll probably sell that out too. So they'll have 19 consecutive sellouts. Yeah. And look, at 11,000, they need to be selling out each and every day, but they're doing it. So that's good. So last night they get a grand slam from Jose Caballero that traveled 327 feet, was 95.1 off the bat at a 39-degree
still counts
launch angle. That is a George Steinbrenner Field home run right there, and we'll take it for the grand slam. And then they did squat the rest of the way. Yandy got a solo shot in the 7th, I believe, and the Rays continue to struggle with runners in scoring position. What was the exact number? I'll look that up and let you know. But Pepio on the hill was good enough. Struggled a little bit, wasn't dominant, but they got the win 5-4 to break their 5-game losing streak and set up the rubber match today, rubber game of the series against the Angels. So not an offensive explosion, but talk about getting hits when you need it. A 2-out grand slam. I don't care if it's a 327-foot home run. I'm going to take it. It's a grand slam, and it counts. And it put 4 on the board. And for an offense that's just going to continue to struggle. And yesterday when I saw the lineup, I was like, ooh, all right-handers in this. No Jonathan Aranda. It just, you look at the lineup and you're like, my Lord. Curtis Mead was batting 3rd. It's thin. It's really, really thin. And we'll see as the competition increases how good this team is going to be. But again, who was it that put that up there? JD Martinez is still sitting at home. Look, JD Martinez is not going to be a guy that's going to come in here and get 40 home runs, but he's a professional hitter. And we made this argument back in spring training. He's a guy with enormous knowledge of hitting the baseball, incredible knowledge, and is a very competent and willing teacher. And it's the type of player that you need in this clubhouse, quite frankly. Now, you hoped Danny Jansen would be one of those guys, but when you're batting like 0-12, it's hard to be a leader in the clubhouse, even though there's a guy that's been around. I think the Rays need more of that, and not less, and they need professional hitters, and he is the epitome of a professional hitter. Now, last year he had a down year with 38 years old, but he's been pretty damn good for a long, long time. And if you sign him, there's no risk. If it doesn't work out, you can get rid of him. And with what they're working with right now, I don't know. And we're not talking a lot of money here. It would take $4 or $5 million maybe to get that done, tops. I don't know. But I would look into it. No, I would definitely look into it. So big win for the Rays. We'll give them that to get off the 5-game schneid. And hopefully they can get something going here as who comes in this weekend? Is it the Braves this weekend?
Let's see.
Check the
Angels.
schedule.
Yeah, I can tell you. I'm looking at it right now. It will be the Braves.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's going to be, you got so many Braves fan there. That's going to be a tight sellout. That'll be a tough ticket, and a fun game too. Really fun game. If you weren't with us yesterday, I did the stadium review, the experience review yesterday. My first game on Tuesday night. Our good friend Jack Hannon, friend of the show, got me some tickets. 7 rows up behind the dugout. Absolutely spectacular. I don't think I've ever sat in a seat like that for a major league game that close in a long time. It was
cool, isn't it? It's cool.
Oh my God, it's really cool. And every time they come in, especially on the first base side, the players are throwing the balls over the net. And there's a great scramble for the balls. Foul balls are in play, no question about that. So it's fun. It's a really fun atmosphere. And from a fan's perspective, couldn't be easier. Parking, we parked at Riveters, which is about a 20-minute walk on a beautiful night. And I don't know if I want to be doing that in the middle of summer, but I don't really care. I enjoy walking. I get those steps in, right? Get those steps in.
Yeah.
So we parked there for free and went in and had some happy hour pops and some great food. And pre and post game, go to Riveters. They'll let you park there, walk over to the stadium. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. So if you're up for a little bit of a walk, it's probably about 3/4 of a mile, I would say, a mile, which isn't bad at all when the weather's nice. And you get, but there's $10 parking. Somebody's asking me where's the best place to park. All over MLK Boulevard. There's a lot of different places you can park that aren't really expensive, and then just walk over to the park. It's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and people are taking advantage of it. And I personally hope they stay there for 3 years while they build a new stadium in Tampa. That's me.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be great. JP, looking up Ken Venturi's Masters in 1956, he led all 3 rounds in an attempt to become the first amateur to win, but shot a final round 80 on Sunday to relinquish a 4-shot lead to Jack Burke Jr. A final round 80.
Ouch, babe.
Yeah, and he still finished second.
Yeah. That's well, it got him a seat in the tower for 40 years. So yeah.
Yeah, he was a good one too, man. I loved Ken Venturi.
Yeah. One of the greats. Definitely miss him. Definitely miss his voice.
Yep.
And Faldo too. Miss his voice. Zinger.
Yeah, I don't mind Trevor Immelman. Immelman's pretty good. He's growing on me.
Little milk toast for me.
Yeah, he's growing on me a little bit, but
yeah. Who are the great voices in golf now? I mean,
Lundqvist is gone, right? So
Aaron Lundqvist is gone. Gary Koch is gone.
Yeah.
Although they bring Gary back for the big events, which I love.
They do. Yeah.
And it's funny because we're trying to talk about the Rays. We just fold right into Masters. Golf is one of those sports where I want to hear those recognizable voices.
Sure.
And we lost, of course, what's his face? The knuckle crazy guy. Oh God, another it's doing live golf.
David Faraday.
Yeah. I know some people. I love David Faraday.
I did too.
Loved him on the big broadcast.
He lives in Dallas. I used to see him out all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's moved. I don't see him anymore.
He's probably over. He's probably living in Dubai.
Yeah. His free house.
$8 million condo. Yeah. So those great voices of golf, where'd they go? Venturi, Koch, Vern Lundquist, Zinger. Is Zinger still doing golf?
No, he's retired.
Nick Faldo. Now, I mean,
Faldo was great, man.
He turned it on now. Like which was it for Valspar? Was it? No offense, but Kevin Kisner.
I like Kevin though. I think he's good.
I like him, but he's certainly not an iconic voice.
Ian Baker Finch.
Yeah,
he's out there. Of course, there's Dottie Pepper. If you can handle Dottie Pepper,
I love Dottie Pepper.
I think she's good. Yeah. A lot of people don't like her. Frank Nobilo.
I like Diet Dottie Pepper. I'm Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dottie Pepper. You know who I can't stand? And he's actually a friend of our show, so I hate to bash him, but I've told him this to I've told him this to his face.
Well, that's nice of you.
Because he's from right up the road here in Pilot Point, Texas. Colton Nost. Cannot
Colton Nose. Oh, Colton
stand
Nose.
listening to Colton Nose talk on the
I
air.
kind of like him. Actually, I like him. I like him.
Stand him.
What? Yeah, really?
Yeah, I
kind of like him. You know who they should put in the tower?
Amanda Balionis. That's who they should put in my tower.
No. John Daly.
They would never in a million years put him on the air.
Why not?
Can you imagine?
Yes. Yes, I can imagine.
I mean, I agree, but they never would do that.
And plus, with the codicil, you have to allow him to drink.
Oh, yeah. You have to pay for it.
Can you imagine Daly? Of course, they would never allow him at the Masters.
Lighting up a heater on the air.
Yeah. Maybe and a good boy seltzer.
Drinking a good boy.
Yeah. I'm for it. Well, he can have his own alternate broadcast, can he? Or the PGA Tour have to sanction that?
Plus.
Yes. I'd listen to that all day.
Pay-per-view. I would pay-per-view John Daly doing play-by-play on golf.
Hell to the yes. So if you had, all right, here's one for you guys out there. If you had an alternate channel, and we'll give you four broadcasters to do the alternate Masters, PGA Tour, whatever. Who would it be? Who would be your commentators? You know who would be fantastic. We don't even talk about this, but who would be absolutely fantastic if he would actually be himself and his candid self and be allowed to swear as well. Tiger Woods. He'd Woods
be entertaining, yeah.
Yes, he would be.
Yeah.
The private Tiger Woods, for the guys that have played with him that I've talked to, Schmaltzy, who comes on the show. Yeah. He will say some shiz. He will say some stuff. So if you could get unfiltered Tiger with John Daly, you don't have to use the word unfiltered because that's redundant.
Yeah.
So unfiltered Tiger, John Daly.
Put them together.
David Faraday.
Oh, God.
You might have to have just one sane person in that group. Just the level of just to keep it on the rails.
Put Jim Nantz in the middle of all of them.
Oh, God. Jim Nantz would be so out of place. Are you kidding me? No, cannot be Jim Nantz. You know who could handle those guys? Tirico. Tirico could handle.
Tirico would do.
Tirico could handle those guys. He's loose enough to be able to be on their level. He's a chameleon. He could do it. And then, but he would keep it on the rails.
Who I enjoyed way back in the day was Ben Wright.
Ben Wright.
Yeah,
Ben Wright. Yeah, speaking of drinking on the air.
Dude.
Yeah, Ben Wright. Yeah. Yeah, because you've got to get that European English accent in there somewhere.
Right.
You must have some type of accent there. Yeah, because we don't have that's one of the characters that has gone by the wayside.
Yeah.
The drunken Englishman.
Yeah, drunk uncle.
Yeah. I think golf always needs that guy.
Golf needs a drunk
Bob
uncle.
Drum. Remember Bob Drum?
Yeah.
The great Bob Drum, yeah. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, the great Titus O'Neil is scheduled to join us. He's a very busy man. Hopefully we can get him on today so he can celebrate the big Gator win. He was there in San Antonio holding up the trophy on the court. So we'll talk with him about that and all the great things he's got going on here locally. The great Florida Gator and WWE superstar Titus O'Neil set to join us. And late ad, Scott Hamilton's going to join us live from Augusta. He's there and is coming on at 11:30.
Speaking of drunk.
Hey now. Quick break here. We're brought to you by the great folks in the Riveters. We mentioned them just a moment ago. So if you're heading over to the ball game today, stop by Riveters, have a little pregame or postgame with their happy hour, which is amazing. The prices at happy hour, $3 domestics. You got $3.50 Bud Light bottles. All kinds of $5 Wells, $8 Buffalo chicken dip, which is outstanding. So great food and drink specials at happy hour after the game and before the game, obviously, as well. Go enjoy a little lunch there before you head on over to Steinbrenner Field. Riveters, great place to watch UFC. Gator games, they were packed. Just an awesome place to watch any type of sports. It's Riveters, just north of 275 there on Dale Mabry. Back in 3. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. Summer is coming. Do not get caught with your unit unprepared. Your AC unit, of course. The awesome folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC have a special going on right now. You get a free 1-year maintenance package with any purchase of a new unit. They have special 60-month financing as well, so you don't need a huge chunk up front. Third Generation has an impeccable reputation built over 30 years of doing business. They do plumbing, AC, mechanical work, anything you need around the house. They are trusted folks. Go to the website and read the 5-star reviews. Deidre said, great company that always arrives timely. We have used them for our AC both in home and business and have been very happy. The staff is knowledgeable and professional. I would recommend Third Generation again and again. So give Third Generation a call at 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at On-Site Construction and Restoration. If you're looking to build a new home, do some restoration after the hurricane, or you want to add on some space, they are the folks to do it. 25 years in the business, over 1,400 jobs, and great reviews, 5-star reviews all around. Go check out their website, onsiteconstructionfl.com. See some of the great pictures of their work right there, and look at all the great things they do. That's onsiteconstructionfl.com. All right, let's bring him in. The man, the myth. He is the WWE Global Ambassador, Hall of Famer, the great Thaddeus Bullard. Titus O'Neil joining us here. What's up, Titus? How are you, partner?
I'm excellent. You know, I'm still reeling from Monday. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I got about 363 more days or 64 more days to have this smile on my face and this pride you know, that I have, like all Gators around the globe have right now. So it was an amazing weekend filled with just so much pride for what the University of Florida basketball team accomplished. And, you know, to see it in person both nights, Saturday and Sunday, the resolve that this team played with, being down in both of those games and being able to find a way to come back. Even with, you know, Walter Clayton Jr. struggling a little bit in the first half. You know, I think Houston did an amazing job of game planning for him and not allowing him to be the sole reason why they lost the game, as he obviously took over on Saturday and never looked back. And, you know, a lot of great reasons to be smiling if you're a Gator right now.
Absolutely. As I told you in my text, I'm going to have to convert now. You guys are the only team in D1 that has won 3 national titles in football and basketball. And if you just look at the 21st century, you guys have dominated in terms of football and basketball. You can't argue. when you look at the two most popular sports, the most important sports, no one's even come close to what Florida's doing. I mean, that's a huge feather in your cap. Talk a little bit about what they've been able to do in both of those big sports.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Napier was, I had a chance to sit down with him over the weekend too. He came and supported the basketball team as well. Obviously, they're in the middle of spring football, and I think things are starting to come together for both programs. Really, all the university athletic program as a whole. I mean, we've had a lot of success in various sports there, but I just think when you win a championship in any sport, it ignites, the other athletes from other sports. Hey, we got to get our stuff together.
That's a great point. Yeah,
we don't want to be the only ones. But I think with our football team, Billy has those guys believing, and he's had them believing really from the beginning. But as you know, in transitioning in anything, there is going to be some reciprocal, I guess, collateral damage from previous regime, and going in and trying to fix that. And I think that Scott Strickland, not folding to the pressure of the boos and et cetera, has given, a vote of confidence to not only Billy, who I think is a tremendous human being, first and foremost. I'm very honored and happy that my youngest son, gets to play for him there, which, Billy even made it a point several times over the weekend, and my son's progressing very well, and I'm very happy to hear about that. But, Billy Napier is one of those guys that is one of the most consistent human beings you'll ever come across, both during games and off the field. And I think that has resonated a lot with the players that he's not only recruited, but the ones that are there and chose to stay there. And because of that, we've been able to create a more and more culture of standard, of excellence under him. And I realize and recognize very, very easily, just like everybody else should recognize, that we have the hardest schedule coming up, ever. And
second year in a row.
Yeah. And being in the SEC, having to recruit against teams like Georgia and, any of the SEC teams, really, the NIL and the collective now being a big part of that, the transfer portal. And it's almost like I feel like every head coach has to take on more of a CEO role than they are actually coordinators. So hopefully some of those responsibilities will be divided amongst the other staff members, so that Billy can be that great leader that he is, work with our boosters. It's crazy. The first person I ever saw really be that role was at your alma mater, Florida State, Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
Bobby Bowden probably didn't effectively, he probably did not really coach the last 10 years of his tenure there. But he had great assistants in Mickey Andrews and Odell Higgins and so many others. And he was able to continue to be the face of the organization. And I hope that Billy can get to that point too, where he is literally the face that brings not only recruits in, but great coaches in too, and starts his own coaching tree, hopefully, where guys, much like Nick Saban, much like Bill Belichick, have, these different guys that coached under them that are now head coaches, elsewhere.
Yeah. Let's stay on football for a second, and we'll get back to basketball, because you brought up some great points there that I want to hit on. First and foremost, you came on this show at the beginning of last football season, and I echoed this as well. And we told Gator fans to be patient. Like, it's going to be a tough schedule. And I said, if you win 6 games, that's going to be a great accomplishment. 7 games would be amazing. 8 would be off the charts. Yeah. And it didn't start like many wanted, but you said, be patient. Be patient. It's coming. It's coming. You mentioned Scott Strickland said it's coming. And now I got to say, if you look at all the programs in Florida, Florida is on the rise. I would put them at number 1, especially with DJ Lagway there. And that patience is going to be, I think, richly rewarded, because what they did in recruiting this year, portal, and the players they already got here, which well, because your son's there, your nephew's there, Ernest's son.
Yeah.
I mean, so you can really tell us what's next for this year. Again, schedule ridiculously hard,
Yeah.
but can they manage that? And because I think they could be one of those teams that might have 2 or 3 losses and get into the playoff. I think they're that good. What do you think?
I think so too. I think it all really is going to depend on, just like any other team, is going to depend on injuries throughout the season, and how healthy a team can stay throughout that entire season. And also too, even with those 2 losses or 3 losses that could possibly potentially happen, it's also a matter of when those losses happen. If it happens early in the season, then a mid-season, you know, it's a crapshoot nowadays, especially with, you look at teams that had better records but did not make the playoffs. And strength of schedule is definitely going to be in our favor when it comes to being able to say, state our case. If we are one of those teams that are sitting at 2 losses or one, even 1 loss, why we should be in that top echelon of teams that are in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, football's got to be played. Injuries have to be minimized, and the chemistry of the team, that carries over from spring, starting this spring, and obviously the spring game being this Saturday at the Swamp, and then how those guys work over the course of the summer, and as a cohesive unit with a cohesive mindset. And I think that's something that I think the football team probably needs to really lean on those basketball players at Florida to do, because those guys, they 1 year ago, they were knocked out in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And 1 year later, they won a national championship.
Yeah, with 4 comebacks. 4 big comebacks during that time. As we transition back to basketball, never seen it before. Down 16, I think the Texas Tech, down 9 in the championship game. They just kept coming back. And that Walter Clayton boy, Bartow's finest, one of these small towns in Florida where we get great athletes, right? Titus. And nobody recruited him. Florida didn't. FSU did. USF didn't. And he is, in my mind, I think he's the best player in college basketball this year. I think he'll be a hell of a pro. What was it about that team? I mean, you were standing there on the floor with the trophy. You got to know these guys. What was it about him and that team that just came back time and time again? They never flinched. Never.
Yeah. I mean, if you just saw those guys walking around the hotel, I stayed at the same hotel, and you just see those guys walking around the hotel. They walked with a swagger like they belonged there.
Nice.
And they've had several games throughout the regular season and throughout the SEC tournament that have tested their grit, and they came out on top.
Yep.
They went 1-1 with Auburn during the regular season. And so they had been there before. And in the case of Houston, and I would argue as well, I do agree. While I agree that Walter Clayton Jr. is definitely one of the top 5 players, I don't see anybody being better than Cooper Flagg from Duke. He's going to be the projected first overall pick. Different set of skill sets, but both tremendous players. Cooper's also taller as well, and younger. I mean, Cooper's like 17 years old.
Yeah, he is so young. Yeah.
So much potential there to develop, and he's that good at 1 year in college. So just imagine how he's going to develop as well. But back to Walter Clayton Jr., Will Richard, the entire cast of players, everybody seemingly knew like where their role was, and all of them rose above their role at key moments. And that was the difference, for the game. Number one, they have this confidence that they can come. And I think that all starts with Todd. Coach Golden, he's 39 years old, man. He's got just as much energy as those players do. You know what I mean? And he's a passionate son of a gun too. And then his assistants, he coaches by committee too. So it's just like all these guys are meshed, at the one common goal, which is we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. You never saw, and I sat literally right behind the bench of the game, and I never saw anybody like get overly frustrated about anything. I just saw Coach Golden coaching with passion. And I never saw a player with their head down, no matter how many points they were down, no matter how many turnovers happened in the first half. You just saw like, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And I don't know if people realize or recognize this at this point, but most of the games that Florida's been behind in the first half, they've made great adjustments in the second half that have literally propelled them to where they are today. They're national champions of the NCAA basketball 2025.
Incredible run that will never be forgotten. Thaddeus Bullard joining us here. Titus O'Neil, WWE Global Ambassador, Hall of Famer. We got to talk a little wrestling. WrestleMania 41. What happened in the last one was insane.
Yeah.
John Cena turning heel.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can top that, but you always do. What do we got coming up? What we this weekend, right? The
Next
19th, next weekend,
19th and 20th,
yeah, weekend after the Masters.
Yeah, there'll be the card is shaping up with some phenomenal matches. Obviously, the triple threat between Punk, Rollins, and Roman will be off the charts.
Yeah,
the storytelling leading up to that is, the storytelling leading up to all this stuff is amazing. But especially for me, the most intriguing one, personally for me, is that Punk, Rollins, Reigns, with Paul Heyman being in the mix, but not necessarily knowing what part of the mix it is. Like, it's always something with Paul, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see how that unfolds. I'm also interested to see how the Cena Cody battle goes too, because on one hand you have Cena on his way out. He's on the cusp of breaking or tying Ric Flair's world championship title reign, and Cody, after all he went through last year, to be in the spot that he's in still a year later, which is, Roman's the only other person that has carried that title the way that Cody has up to this point. And just to see, will John Cena get that next title reign, or will something happen and, Rock being involved in any way, shape, or form, is John gonna turn on Rock? Like I don't know. It's just so many things that could happen. Is Rock gonna try to interfere with the match and it backfires on him? To lead Cody to a victory. I'm also very intrigued by the women's title match between Trish Stratton and Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte
Flair. Yeah.
Then a triple threat on the other side. It's shaping out to be a really, really good card. And 2 nights, Allegiant Stadium, home of the Raiders, usually, but be home of WrestleMania 41 this year.
Yeah.
And, all bets are all in Vegas, and it's the perfect place for several of these matches to happen, because the odds, that some things are not going to happen and that some things that will happen are tremendously flip-flopped.
Well, I know you're a super busy man, and I thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, partner. But I have to ask you, you are the mayor now. You are the unofficial, maybe official mayor of Tampa. There's no question about it. With all due respect to Ms. Castor, you're the mayor. You're everywhere. You're at every event. What do you got going here locally? Catch us up. What can we promote for you? I know you're busy with WrestleMania, but what's going on for here locally for you?
We're just continuing to build over at the Thaddeus and Bullard Academy at Slide Middle Magnet School. We're close to a B school now. School for decades that was an F.
Nice.
We just announced a couple of weeks ago with Jable in expanding our partnership with Jable and the Bullard Family Foundation, and we are the only school in the world that has a Badger robot with technology for
a Badger robot.
Yeah.
What is that?
So it's a robot that basically, if you go to grocery stores, sometimes you see where there's this robot going up and down the aisle. They're pretty much taking inventory, reporting it back, stuff like that. But we can program it with our robotics team to kind of do almost anything. So if Thaddeus Bullard is not in town, but I have, JP Peterson that wants to take a tour of the school, I'll get a student that's in a robotics program with the Badger robot to kind of take you through, and they literally.
We got to do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Do that.
Yeah. We're redoing our cafeteria over the summer, and it's going to be state of the art too. I just redid the media center, which is night and day, and it's state of the art as well. Just actually got off the phone with New Line, a company that does interactive LED panels and stuff like that. So we're going to be seeing more of those at the school. But yeah, we have our wellness day coming up. April 26th, where we bring families from all throughout that zip code and the surrounding schools, and we do everything built around mental health. We do art therapy, music therapy, puppy therapy. We got many horses that come out. We have games, so it's really to kind of help the families not only address their mental health, but also take home some tools that will allow them to continue their journey to mental health. Mental health is very important to me. It's something that I didn't even realize I needed it until around 2017. And it's just as important to me as me going to the gym and working out.
Absolutely.
And that a lot of people are walking around with unaddressed traumas. And I think that if people took more time to kind of realize that, some of the stuff we grew up witnessing and dealing with, it might have been normal at the time, but you realize back then, like, no, this actually is not right,
Not right.
Yeah.
No. So I totally agree. Daddy, listen, thanks so much for your time. As always, you're the best. Everything you do, the philanthropic things that you do, off the charts. And I will invite you, and I'm sure somebody already has. It's playoff time at Lightning. And you're always there, and your voice is always there, and it's tremendous. So we hope to see you.
We'll have a badass hype video coming up.
Damn right, awesome. No, we can't do it anymore without you. So you got to be the voice, forevermore. So you're the best partner. We'll see you at Amalie Arena. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Grace, Thaddeus Bullard, Titus O'Neill. Great stuff right there. Thank you, partner. That guy's awesome, dude. He's so awesome. He is just the best.
How about those guns, man? Jeez.
No, he's everything. He's the Renaissance man. I mean, he can wrestle. He can, and literally at every charity event. I don't know. I think he has like 6 or 7 doubles. He's much like Mickey Mouse. He must have like 6 or 7 guys because he's literally everywhere. He's everywhere. And he gives us time so much to so many different causes. He's just the best. The new official, unofficial mayor of Tampa, Thaddeus Bullard. And
nice.
He's literally making me a Gator fan. Like
shocking.
All the vitriol and emotion that have gone into the rivalry over the year, I just don't have it anymore because I just have too many friends that are Gators that are just great folks that we love, and you can't hate them anymore. Golly, I mean, when Spurrier was around, it was easy. Now I even like Spurrier. I mean, it's just like easy. I can love chatting with him all the time. It's like he's fantastic. So,
it's a tough spot to be in when you got to love the Gators.
I know. Now the Hurricanes, no problem.
Yeah, we're out.
A-holes always. But no, the Gators, it's making it much too hard.
We got a new leader, JP.
We have a new leader.
Aaron Rye at 4 under.
4 under. Aaron Rye.
Through 8 holes, Mr. Two Gloves.
Mr. Two Gloves.
And wow. Steven Yeager at 3 under is your second place. And then slew of guys at 2 under. Joaquin Neiman. Scotty Scheffler at 2 under through 4.
Scotty Scheffler.
Jordan Spieth at 2 under through 3.
Oh.
And Terrell Hatton at 2 under through 3 also.
I think I'm going to put a little wager down on a couple of long shots. One of them being on Johnny's card, Zalatoris. Will Zalatoris. I like him. And people are talking about McIntyre too, the Scottish one.
Yeah, he was my pick to win. I had Scott.
Oh, really?
Or, Robert. Yeah, he was my winner.
What's his odds?
I think I had him at 40 to 1.
Just 40? I thought it'd be more than that. Yeah, so 4 under. He Rye birdied 2, 3, went through that 4, 5, 6 stretch at par, which is awesome, and then birdied 7, and now has birdied 8 as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a hell of a front 9 right there.
For those of you that missed it yesterday, here were Johnny's picks.
There we go
for you. Yeah.
So Spieth off to a good start. Russell Henley, I love Russell Henley at 40 to 1 too. Zalator 60 to 1. Love all 4 of those picks except Koepka.
Yeah, you didn't like the Koepka pick, did you?
He's a Knoll. I should love that, but he's I don't know.
He's Brooksy.
Meh.
A strict son, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, one of these girls that we didn't know who she was apparently is his girlfriend or his wife. I don't know which one.
Mills. What's her name? Holly
That's
Mills.
Aaron Rye's. It was her. This is her. This is
Mills.
Yeah, Jenna Sims.
Jenna Sims. I didn't think Mills. Jenna Sims. Yeah, Jenna Sims. Yeah, she was the one in full swing. They were like, oh, I don't like him when he's not playing well. It's not very fun.
It sounds like they're a perfect match.
Right? Exactly. 100%.
And of course, he picked that number for her, I'm sure.
Are you sure that wasn't photoshopped?
It's not photoshopped. That's actually her number.
That's odd.
I wonder if he requested it. I wonder if his caddy today is wearing that number.
Would it be this caddy's? Maybe.
Huh.
All right. To Michael LaRue, good morning to you. Said not having Gensel last night hurt a little bit. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Gensel was a late scratch, and we don't know why. It may have been a personal matter. So we may or may not find out what's going on with that. Are you? I've never been a huge wrestling. In my younger days, Florida Championship Wrestling, I was very much into it. But when I got into sportscasting, wrestling was always very much a more of an entertainment thing. And now it's just become just ridiculously huge. And the people that are involved, it's crossed the line from sports to entertainment. And now is the biggest, really entertainment company in the world now, with the numbers that they're putting up. And this WrestleMania 41 that's coming up with Cena and The Rock and Roman, all of them. I've been lured in. It's actually way more fun than some of the quote major sports now.
Really?
So yeah,
I watched wrestling in the late 70s and in the 80s. Of course, the Von Erichs were huge here, in Dallas, lived up the road from where I am. So we watched them, and we'd go down to the old Sportatorium in downtown Dallas where they filmed it, World-Class Championship Wrestling. And
Florida Championship Wrestling with Gordon Soley.
So we were into that. They came to my high school. They put on the ticket that the Von Erichs were going to wrestle. So I was like, crap, and Von Erichs are coming to my high school. Like, wow, in the stadium. I was so stoked. And I hadn't really watched it in a few years, but I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going. Do you know who showed up? The fake Von Erich.
They have a fake Von Erich?
Lance Von Erich, who was billed as the cousin. Wasn't even a real Von Erich. I was so pissed.
What? Okay.
I felt ripped off. Like, we didn't have a Von Erich. We had Lance. Lance Von Erich. Like, what?
The fake Von Erich. What are we doing?
So pissed. Gentleman Chris Adams was there. The Freebirds were there. It was fun, but I didn't get my Von Erichs. I was pissed.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come out and go back to Augusta. Scott Hamilton is live from the Masters. We will chat with him and see what's going on with a very interesting leaderboard on the morning of round 1 at Augusta. We are brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC. They got a special going on right now to make sure your unit is prepared for the summer. Do not have an unprepared unit, and they'll do all kinds of maintenance on that. They'll check the coils, the condensers, get all your fluids right, drain the get the drain pan right, get the drain right, all that stuff that they do to make sure you are serviced and ready for summer and keep your unit in tip-top condition. It's Third Generation Plumbing and AC. Go to their website, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. You can contact them through there. Great folks. Read all their 5-star reviews. And you know you got someone coming out there that's been doing it for a long time and is trusted in the marketplace. Thirdgenerationplumbing.com is the website. Back in 3.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite. I love it. So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Summer is coming. Do not get caught with your unit unprepared. Your AC unit, of course. The awesome folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC have a special going on right now. You get a free 1-year maintenance package with any purchase of a new unit. They have special 60-month financing as well, so you don't need a huge chunk up front. Third Generation has an impeccable reputation built over 30 years of doing business. They do plumbing, AC, mechanical work, anything you need around the house. They are trusted folks. Go to the website and read the 5-star reviews. Deidre said, great company that always arrives timely. We have used them for our AC both in home and business and have been very happy. The staff is knowledgeable and professional. I would recommend Third Generation again and again. So give Third Generation a call at 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, coming to you here on the FanStream Sports Network and brought to you by the great folks at Cafe Paradiso. If you're looking for a great Italian meal, none better than go see my man Paolo Tini at the Cafe Paradiso there on South McDill. Have some of that great lasagna and just absolutely fabulous wine list, great atmosphere, great service. It's Cafe Paradiso on South McDill. Tim's favorite place to eat.
Oh my gosh, it's that veal piccata just melts in your mouth. I can still taste it.
It's quite the meal we had there.
God, it was so great.
Fantastic. All right, let's welcome in another member of the FanStream Sports team from the Post and Courier in South Carolina, the great Scott Hamilton joining us. Look at that. He is on grounds, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that.
Where'd you get that fake Masters Cup at?
I bought it down the street off Washington Road. Actually, I'm in the parking lot. We're not allowed to do things on site that has any kind of video component. You can't do radio in certain areas. So I said, all right, I'll just walk out to the media parking lot and I'll just sling up over the fence there and y'all can get it.
They're going to get us canceled.
Get
The
my
chairman,
credential revoked.
the chairman's a good friend of mine. That's good. He watches the show all the time, I'm sure. So or maybe not. Say hi to Fred if you see him there. Tell him JP said hello. All right. So what do we got go? I was reading a little bit of the piece you wrote this morning. I love the open, by the way. You're a very talented writer, Scott Hamilton. I must tell you, you're a very talented writer. I love reading your stuff. Talking about what a perfect and pristine place the Masters is, but it is a bit of a contradiction. Tell us about what you wrote.
Well, I mean, you come here and it's paradise. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, the grass is perfect. The trees are perfect. It smells perfect. The people act perfectly.
Yeah.
But, there's an hypocrisy to it because there's no freedom. I mean, they make the rules here. It's their club.
Yeah.
It's their club. But people flock to this place like it's Mecca, and they hand over thousands of dollars for the privilege of being told what to do and how to act and how to dress and to get $1.50 sandwich. I wrote about that.
Of course.
And now you can get merchandise here. That's the only place you can get official Masters merchandise. So that's cool, I guess. But I still try to wrap my mind around it. I mean, people love coming here. It's on every sports fan's bucket list pretty much. Even non-golf fans, they'll tell you they want to go to at least one Masters. And it still baffles me why it has such a hold on our culture. It's incredible, man. It's incredible. Unless you've been, you can't really explain it either. I'm in the parking lot. Because I'm so afraid that they'll revoke my credential and you don't get it back.
That's right.
It's my 14th Masters and I mind my P's and Q's, believe me.
Yeah.
So that's what it takes to make Scott mind his P's and Q's. It takes Augusta. Now we finally know the answer.
I did sneak. One time early in my career, I snuck a phone out and I took some pictures. It was on a Wednesday, maybe a Tuesday. And I had these beautiful, beautiful pictures of the course. I mean, because you can stand on one and you see 9 green, 18, and there's these vast expanses that are in between the holes where there's nothing. People just walk on it, but there was nobody that day. And I had these beautiful pictures. And then that phone was stolen in a strip bar one night, and I lost my pictures. I
you didn't download them anywhere? What are we doing?
Well, no, it was before then. It wasn't even an iPhone. It was a BlackBerry. It wasn't a BlackBerry. It was called a Blackjack.
Yeah.
And I was at the Spearmint Rhino in Lexington, Kentucky.
Say, if anybody finds that phone. You got some great pictures on it,
dude. There were a lot of phone numbers in that phone, and what it is, we're off the track here, but what the hell? I stopped to see a friend of mine. We had been watching football, and it was a Sunday night of all things.
Yeah.
So I stop and I pick him up and I go in and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, all right, let's go. And then I'm like, God, because I know I never took it out of my pocket or anything. One of those entertainers.
Yes.
Lifted my phone, and apparently it was a thing out there at that time.
Yeah, they'll get you.
Probably not the only thing she took from you.
Lifted, yeah. Here's I don't think this is one upping you, but so in 92, 93, 94, I got a press badge. I was working at a TV station in Tallahassee, and our antenna was in Thomasville. So we got press badges, and I walked down as after play. I had one of those old brick huge cell phone.
Yeah, the Michael Douglas.
The big ones, yeah. And I walked out Bell South Mobility, and I walked the entire course with the guys that were mowing it. And I called every single person I know, and I'd say, you know where I am at right now? I'm walking down. Because we could go inside the ropes back then. We could go anywhere except the Champions locker room back in the early 90s with a press badge. You could go anywhere.
Yep.
It was insane. I would walk through the clubhouse. I went out on the veranda and had a nice cocktail made by the great folks there and sat out there with the old Bob drum and overlooking the putting green. It was one of the greatest days of my life. And I walked the entire course, and it was incredible. And to your point, there's no place on earth where we would subject ourselves to this tyranny.
Tyranny
that we just it's like a Mecca. It's like I don't know why.
Tyranny. I'm going to stop short of calling it tyranny. that's probably.
I
an
say it in a
accurate
loving
description,
way. I say, but that's just. I think it speaks to the respect that we have for the venue and the event, because they've. And I'll tell you what. This is one of my theories, is because they have not capitulated. They have
though. Ooh,
not
I had
capitulated.
that word in today. Good word.
Yeah, to the corporate masses, right? They've not. There's not one corporate sign out there. There's not one corporate tent out, on grounds. You have the places off grounds now. It's a throwback, and we love it, and we crave nostalgia, we crave throwback, we crave order, we crave tradition, we crave beauty, and we crave excellence. All those things are wrapped up in that place right there.
But the weird thing is, and I thought about this yesterday, and I regret I didn't get it into the column. It's an opportunity to rub elbows with some really famous people.
Yeah.
When you get in the gates, like I've walked with Venus Williams, I've walked with Mark Wahlberg, people like that. But it's also kind of weird because it really shows you your place on the planet. It's kind of weird, man. I mean, you can look at that one of two ways. You're either, you know what, we're all the same. This is great. It doesn't matter who you are in here, unless you're Fred Couples or Tiger Woods. Everybody got the same treatment. Or it reminds me that, man, those people in that green jacket, that's like the Illuminati or the Bilderbergers. I mean, they're getting presidents elected. They're the people who are raising and lowering gas prices. They're doing all that stuff, man. I mean, if I wanted my eggs lowered, I've been thinking do it, So
yeah.
It's kind of humbling, and I still have a hard time explaining it. I mean, my dad, and we've talked about my dad. My dad's lost his leg when he was 17 years old, worked 40 years in a coal mine.
Yeah.
He wants to come to this event so bad. He can't now, unfortunately, but it always wondered. I mean, he's a salt of the earth guy. I mean, this is a guy who wears jeans even at the beach. I kid you not. And I kid you not. But he wants to come to the Masters.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. And maybe it's to your point about tradition, and I don't know, man.
It's a throwback. It's a throwback.
Throwback
Yeah.
is putting it mildly.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we did find out from Bob Herrig yesterday that the Masters people can literally move roads when they want to.
Yes.
They can move roads. They can make trees sprout up overnight. I've seen some wild stuff, man. I've seen things, brother.
Yeah, no question.
We've got about 500,000 viewers and listeners under the age of 40 that have no idea what a blackjack phone is, that are still scratching their heads. So there you go, kids. There's your blackjack.
BlackBerry. Yeah, I had a BlackBerry. That's a Samsung. Yeah, it's not BlackBerry. Yeah,
but it wasn't a BlackBerry per se, but it was a really thin phone, and it had a screen, and it was a smartphone, and it was cool, man. I really, really liked it, and I hate that some hoe ripped it off.
She's got some great pictures now.
She got and some phone numbers. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
you guys got a sense of my Rolodex. There's a couple of people in that phone that are sideways with me. They're blocked now. Can't get them. It's been 15, 20
especially
years.
when they were with their wife and Gypsy called from Spearmint Rhino. That probably went over really well. Yeah.
I had Trump's number in that phone, man.
Oh wow! Wow!
So
did you pick up that name you just dropped? It's right there behind you on the floor.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
I just wonder if anybody, and I don't know. I'm like, God, but I guess if he was going to extract revenge on me, he would have done it already. Maybe I did him a favor.
What actually happened, you don't know this, but someone from the Masters found out you had pictures in that phone, and they arranged for that thing to be lifted. That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's
what
black
happened.
Helicopters right now.
That's definitely what happened, without question. All right, let's talk a little golf, for God's sakes. We let's not talk about Scotty and Rory, because everybody's talked about them. Give me another name, another interesting story that you like in this.
It's a guy that some people are saying will likely miss the cut, and I'm going to watch just for the drama of it. I think Victor Hovland, he's the most consistent golfer on the planet.
Yeah,
and he always smiles though, and I just dig that. I think he even enjoys the suffering when he's not doing well.
Right.
But I'm going to check him out. I love his game when he's on. He's a top 1 or 2 player in the world, man. I mean, we saw what he did at East Lake a couple of years ago. He was unbelievable. I'm going to go check him out. I love Oberg, the way he played here. and he's a kid who's still figuring things out. And I think that's part of the deal here. I mean, there's one of two ways you win at Augusta. You're either a sagey, wise veteran, and you've been around and you know where to miss and where you can't miss and this, that, and the other, or you're just a kid with no fear.
Bombing it.
And you're ignorant.
You don't know any better. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know that you can't chip to this spot on number 12 and
Right.
it not roll down into the creek. You don't know that, or you say, you
haven't been scarred
yet. I
yet.
don't care. You haven't been scarred yet. And we see those kind of guys win every so often. And I wouldn't be surprised. Like I'm watching this kid this morning, Nikolai, one of the twins.
Hoiberg.
Yeah.
He started off 3 over, and now he's under par, I believe, on the front. First player ever to do that in their first round at Augusta. What is that? I mean, if he can bounce back from something like that and not be traumatized coming out of the gate, who's to say that if he's in position on Sunday, he won't have the wherewithal to put up with whoever's coming up behind him or is up in front of him?
Well, he went to he was 3 over, got it to 2 under, and now is back to 3 over.
See,
so,
but you know what?
He's on the Shikra.
Let's say, how many holes does he have left?
5 holes left.
14, yeah.
Or actually 4 holes left. Yeah.
He gets it to even par. I'm going to find somebody to make a wager for me somewhere.
It's plus 100,000 to win right now.
I will go and do what I will sell. Well, I can't sell anything. They'll find out here if I try to sell any merch on the street. Yeah, I better not do that.
He's got 2 double bogeys on his second 9.
That'll do
I
it.
want to know details, because was it a deal where he's just like, you know what, the reward and the risks are great, but I'm going to do it, or was it a deal where he just had a brain cloud or whatever? I don't know. But that's Augusta.
10 and 12, he double bogeyed. Yeah, he's on 15 now.
Any other?
What did he do on 11?
He did. What did he do on 11? Tim, you got
par.
Par.
See, you bounced back. Then what did he do on 13?
Par.
See,
there you go. You know what's interesting?
14.
What's interesting? You mentioned Victor Hovland because he just won the Valspar here in Tampa Bay, and he did it with 2 of the greatest long iron shots on 16 and 17, part of the Snake Pit, and birdied them both while who was it was collapsing, and he just he came to the tent and he's like, I don't really know where it's going right now, but I hit a few good shots every now and then, and I won the tournament. I'm like, holy crap. I don't think I've ever heard anybody admit that, but thank you.
He said that to us the other day. They had him in on Tuesday, and he's like, yeah, I mean, if I'm playing bad, I'm going to tell you I'm playing bad. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and give the Tiger I'm working on something. The fact is, you sucked. You did something wrong, and he owns it. I dig the kid, man. I'm a fan. I am such a fan, and he'll be Ryder Cupper this year.
Yeah.
But Bethpage Black. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, Scotty, go get back in there and go rub elbows with all the movers and shakers and have some fun. We really appreciate you walking outside, taking the time to don't do that.
I'll take you with me.
What hole is that? 5?
That's actually the media center.
That's
media center.
Oh, yeah.
I closed the last one, and this one that's been here.
They had to kick you out. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, you know what? I once had a year where I was in the last game at the Notre Dame Media Center and the last Masters at the old Media Center. It was like I was the Grim Reaper, Harvester of Sorrow. But I better get in. I see some people with billy clubs coming.
Yeah. I mean, Bob did our interview yesterday from the Media Center. From inside the Media Center.
Bob Herrig is packing heat.
Yeah, and he gets every cutaway in the full swing too. I don't know how he's accomplished that, but he did.
I'm gonna go see Bob. I'm gonna go see Bob and say, "Bro, how'd you pull that off?"
Yeah, but he's the goat. He's one of the goats. Yeah, tell him we said hello and thank you. Thank you very much for doing this, Scotty. We really appreciate you, brother. We'll see you soon.
See y'all.
All right, it's Scott Hamilton there. Read him in the Post and Courier. They have a dadgum paywall there. These newspapers now have paywalls everywhere. I want to read everything, and it's like, I got to pay? What?
$15 a month too for that Post and Courier.
It's worth it. It's worth it just to read his stuff. But when I start doing that, I have 7,000 subscriptions. Yeah. $15 a month turns into $20,000 by the end of the month.
Exactly.
Remember when all used to be free?
Everything was free.
Everything was free in media. No, you have to pay for everything. We don't make you pay for this. You get what you get what you pay for.
Get what you pay for.
All right, let's hit one more break. We'll come back on the other side, get to all the comments, and get you set for what else is going on at the Masters. And we got some Rays baseball coming up and some hockey coming up this weekend. Stay with us. Summer is coming. Do not get caught with your unit unprepared. Your AC unit, of course. The awesome folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC have a special going on right now. You get a free 1-year maintenance package with any purchase of a new unit. They have special 60-month financing as well, so you don't need a huge chunk up front. Third Generation has an impeccable reputation built over 30 years of doing business. They do plumbing, AC, mechanical work, anything you need around the house. They are trusted folks. Go to the website and read the 5-star reviews. Deidre said, great company that always arrives timely. We have used them for our AC both at home and business and have been very happy. The staff is knowledgeable and professional. I would recommend Third Generation again and again. So give Third Generation a call at 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Masters Thursday. Man, we got you covered. We have such an eclectic show, do we not?
We do.
We
Cover
have-
everybody.
We have the great scribe, Scott Hamilton, live from Augusta. The incredible philanthropic Renaissance man, Thaddeus Bullard, Titus O'Neill, joining us to talk Gators, wrestling, philanthropy here locally. We got this knucklehead that's been covering sports for 40 years and 30 in Tampa.
Yep.
And then we got Tim Ham, the
Guilty.
30, 40 years. What are you, 30 years in the business? 30 years in the
30.
business?
Going on 30, yeah.
Wow, look at you. Happy birthday, by the way.
Same. Thank you, sir.
And we have a great litany of local sponsors that we love. Riveters, your pre and post game for all Rays and Buck stuff right there by Ray J. Taliano Insurance, great folks over there, Jeff and Dane and everybody. We love you guys over there. Charity, great customer service. Give them a call, 813-877-7799. The Golden Diamond Source, one of the greatest local companies, Julie and Steve Weintraub. Speaking of philanthropy, great folks over there. On-Site Construction, one of our new sponsors here that does great work. You know, we love the local companies that have been around for a long time, that we love to support them. in what they do because they do honest work, which is very hard to find these days. And they do tremendous construction work and restoration. Third generation plumbing, John Rodriguez, the owner over there, who has an impeccable reputation for AC and plumbing work, which is, again, hard to find honest AC people anywhere you go and plumbing. So you always know you're going to get that. Cafe Paradiso, Paulatini, our good friend who just is a treasure in the local area, been there for 30 years. I mean, you can count on one hand the restaurants that have been around for 30 years in Tampa or anywhere, and that stands the test of time because local people love it. They keep coming back. And of course, the Jeeves Law Group, Scott Jeeves, who's here this morning. I probably shouldn't.
In the building, huh?
I'll say this. He probably wouldn't want me to say this. He got an invitation to go to the Masters and Berkman's, the whole nine, the best. And that's the offsite hospitality place with it's $14,000 a day or whatever the hell it is. It's unbelievable. My rich friends love going there and telling me all about it. So he got an offer to go to the Masters, go to and the whole thing. He turned it down. You know why? His clients. He said, it's an important time. I'm doing some settlements for my clients. I have a few meetings here the next couple days. So can't go. That's an attorney I want working for me. Yeah. That's the attorney who's going to turn down a Masters invite to say, I got to, keep the settlement things or meetings going in a critical time in the case. And I'm here to tell you, you can count the lawyers on one hand that are going to say no to that. One hand.
It's a shame that invitation wasn't transferable.
Well, he made that very clear to me before I even asked. Damn it. Because you folks, I'm out. Sorry, show's over. See you later. Well, no show today. I love you, but
you and Scott Hamilton would be at the Masters getting kicked out together.
That's right. Absolutely. 1,000%. But I think, again, who does that? Especially, attorneys, and he's had great success in his life, obviously, but he's committed to his clients and doing the right thing. So that's pretty cool. So if I got an accident, if I were you, I would definitely call Scott Jeeves, 1,000%. JeevesLawGroup.com. So we have a great group of advertisers that we love dearly, and we really appreciate them because without them, we couldn't do what we did. We'd have to be behind a paywall.
Yeah.
And we're not. So it's free and unfettered.
These are the worst.
Michael LaRue makes a good point here. He said, I would rather face Ottawa and Florida than Florida. But if they want a deep run, then playing Florida in the first round would be better with all the guys they have out, plus less travel time. I didn't even think about that, but So
is Miami closer to Tampa than Ottawa?
And no tariffs.
Yeah, there you go.
No tariffs as we cross the border. That's another thing that's just out of control. People going bananas. Stock market there. I'm like, these things take time to even come into effect. Somebody made a great point. I saw one of the economists said the other day, we import 11% of our goods. 11% of our goods. So if there's a 20% tariff on something, it equals out to about a 1% change. A 1% change in prices. Inflation has been about 300% over the last 5 years. Don't believe the stupid number the government points out, because look at your gas, look at your rent. All these things have gone up in the 100 percentiles. Eggs, stuff to get groceries, gas, rent, interest rates, all those things. Like, nobody says, oh my God, it's a tariff. A tariff is going to destroy my life. I'm like,
you won't even notice it.
You won't even notice it. And it hasn't even gone into effect yet. But the media is just bananas because they think, obviously they can get Trump on something. And it's just so silly. It's so ignorant in terms of understanding economics. It's absolutely ignorant. And I love what Kevin O'Leary said on CNN. It's getting a lot of play. He said, I'd do 400% tariffs on China because they've been part of the World Trade Organization, and everybody agrees to all these things in terms of currency and trade and all the rules that are out there. Everybody agrees to them if you're in the WTO, and everybody abides by them except China.
Yeah.
Except China. They just say, yeah, we agree to it. And then they do none of it. And then do none of it. They cheat on currency. They cheat on ITP. They steal everything. They're just completely, they don't care. They don't care. They're the honey badger of economics. They don't care. And no one's ever held their feet to the fire except this administration. And finally, somebody's doing something about it. And everybody's just, oh my God, my little tchotchkes from China is going to be an extra 10% at the dollar store. And the converse to that is, oh, we start manufacturing and having jobs in America again. And if we do get into a war, we don't have 98% of our pharmaceuticals made in China and that they can cut off in a minute. Huh. Geez, let me think. What would be better for America? Again, you can hate Trump all you want about how he says it in rhetoric and all these other things, but the policies are way better for you and me. And, once you get past all the other stuff, which I agree, sometimes it's hard. I get it. But what's best? And then you look at the other side. Yeah, sure. Let's have dudes in women's sports. Absolutely. In
women's bathrooms.
Yeah. Let's have dudes winning gold medals and NCAA things. And have fencers that have to, and thank God for the people that are standing up to that. Those are heroes. Those are heroes. And anybody that's part of producing that type of crap. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'll take policies over personality any day of the week.
I think you glossed over this earlier. David Terry chimes in on YouTube, says, JP, anybody ever tell you sound a lot like John Gruden?
No.
And since I've read that, that's all I can hear now is John Gruden when you
John Gruden in my voice. I don't do it. Rick Stroud does a much better Gruden than I do.
He does a good one, yeah.
It's fantastic. I can get there at times, but I need to listen to him a little bit more. He did something yesterday where he got a bunch of stuff from Heidelberg. He opens all the packages.
Yep.
He's like the student princes. Oh my God, that's their name. My parents they met there at Heidelberg. The Berg place is unbelievable. I'm like, that's a great, call it a grift or whatever you want to call it. Right. But hey, send me stuff. I'll open it up and do a video.
That's so great.
Hey, send me stuff. You want your hat on the JP Peterson show for millions of people to watch? Send me your hats. We'll be happy to
I used to do that. I did that bit on my Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz, I guess about 5 years ago when I started doing it. I was looking for sponsors and I was like, look, and I would wear a different hat every day, right? Because I have so many hats.
Yeah.
And I started people just, hey man, we'll give you $20 if you wear our hat on an episode. And I was like, all right. So people started sending me, sponsors would send me their hats. I would wear a different hat and I would give it a shout out every day. And I also did a dad joke of the day.
I like that.
To start every episode, I would do a dad joke of the day and then tell my little joke. And then, and then I would get into Cowboys content. I need to bring that back.
Yeah. Yeah. We could do that on this show. We love it.
A little bit, man. All
right, kids, I got to go watch the Masters. Screw all you folks. We're going to go sit at the couch and get my pimento cheese sandwich and enjoy.
F you.
No, we love you guys. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have more fun and frivolity for you. And, of course, we'll have some crazy guests to come on. Probably see if we can get someone live from the Augusta for the third day in a row. I have a couple people in mind. I have a couple people in mind. We'll see if we can get them.
See if we can get Freddie Couples on the show.
Oh, that would be great.
He's at 1 under right now.
I might be able to get Daly tomorrow.
That would be even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try to get him drunk.
Surrounded by all the Hooters girls at his RV.
Yeah, they can come on the show too.
Absolutely. All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. We got Rays at 1 o'clock. Soriano versus Zach Littell. Going to be another great day at Steinbrenner Field. And we will see you tomorrow.
Ooh.